All right, welcome to NFL Nexus. Today, we're diving deep into a playoff rematch that is so much more than just a game. Honestly, it's a battle for redemption. The San Francisco 49ers, fresh off a tough, gritty win, are heading right back to the scene of their most humiliating loss of the entire season. So the question is, can they possibly overcome that hostile Seattle crowd and the ghosts of their Week 18 disaster? We're going to break down the single critical adjustment that will decide whether their Super Bowl dreams live on or if they die right there in the Pacific Northwest.
But hey, before we really get into all the X's and O's, just a quick heads up. If you love the kind of deep dives we do here at NFL Nexus, we've actually got something pretty cool for you. We've put together these NFL-themed coloring books. They're a fantastic way to share your passion for the game with your kids, your grandkids, or even just to unwind yourself. You can find the link for those right in the description below. Every single purchase helps us keep making content just like this, and we're just incredibly grateful for all your support. All right, let's get into it.
So, this right here, this is the question. You can bet this is what's been keeping Kyle Shanahan up at night. The 49ers are about to walk into a complete lion's den. I mean, Lumen Field is going to be absolutely rocking, a literal earthquake of sound that's designed just to create chaos and disrupt everything you do. And on top of that, the Seahawks are feeling great. Why wouldn't they be? They physically manhandled this team just a few weeks ago in that exact stadium. So what is it? What's the one thing that absolutely has to change for the 49ers to flip the script and keep their championship hopes alive? Well, let's break it all down.
To really answer that question, we first need to get a grip on the journey that brought the 49ers to this exact moment. See, this isn't just another rematch. It's the result of a long, hard-fought season that has tested their resilience at pretty much every turn. This wasn't some cakewalk into the playoffs, no way. They had to fight and claw their way here. And that recent experience, well, it's crucial context for the massive challenge that's waiting for them. You have to remember, the 49ers have already proven they can win on the road in a crazy, hostile environment. Just last week, they went into Philadelphia as the underdogs and they knocked off the reigning Super Bowl champions. That 23-19 victory was a pure testament to their grit and determination. It showed everybody that even when they're not playing their best, prettiest football, they've got the mental toughness to find a way to win. That was a serious character-building victory, It's the kind of thing that forges playoff armor that a team absolutely needs to make a deep run.
And believe me, that win in Philly was anything but a masterpiece. It was a messy, ugly, hard-fought battle that saw the 49ers overcome all sorts of injuries, including a big scare for their star tight end, George Kittle. They weren't moving the ball with that explosive efficiency that we're used to seeing from them. But in the face of all that adversity, with their entire season on the line, Kyle Shanahan dug deep into his bag of tricks, and what he pulled out, man, it was a moment of pure genius that really defined their playoff nerve.
So check this out. This is the play that completely turned the tide against the Eagles. With the game hanging in the balance, fourth quarter, Shanahan calls this unbelievable trick play that had Jawan Jennings, a wide receiver, who by the way played quarterback in high school, throwing a touchdown pass to Christian McCaffrey. And it worked. It worked because it preyed on the Eagles' own defensive aggression. They saw that toss sweep action and they crashed down hard, leaving McCaffrey wide open in the back of the end zone. It was such a gutsy call, and it just showed Shanahan's complete belief in his players. And that kind of competence, that's what can carry a team through the playoffs.
So on one hand, you have the 49ers, and they're riding this huge wave of emotion after a massive upset win. And then you have the Seahawks. They're rested, they're relaxed, and they are holding a trump card. They didn't have to go through a grueling physical wildcard game. Nope. They've been at home, healing up, and you can bet they've been studying the film of that Week 18 domination. They know they can beat this team because they literally just did it. So what you have is the ultimate showdown. You've got momentum versus mastery.
All right, let's just rip the Band-Aid off and talk about the elephant in the room, the Week 18 debacle. This wasn't just a loss for the 49ers, it was a complete and utter meltdown. It was a total systemic failure. This game is the psychological mountain they have to climb. So to understand how the 49ers can possibly win this rematch, we have to first get a good look at how they got so thoroughly dismantled in the first place.
13-3. That score pretty much tells you everything you need to know about the 49ers offense in Week 18. I mean, think about it. An offense that has some of the most dynamic playmakers in the entire league, a team that averaged over 26 points a game during the regular season, was held to a single, lonely field goal. It wasn't just a bad day at the office, it was a complete and total shutdown. And as we're about to see, the box score tells an even uglier story.
173 yards. That's it. That is all the 49ers' high-powered offense could get in a game that decided the division championship. To put that number in perspective for you, that's less than what a single elite player can rack up in a game all by themselves sometimes. This wasn't a case of a few missed opportunities here or there. No. This was systematic domination. The Seahawks defense, with its great mix of veteran savvy and young talent, didn't just contain the 49ers, they put them in a straitjacket.
And right here, this is where the game was truly lost.
The Seahawks ran for 180 yards. They effectively turned the 49ers' vaunted defensive line into a series of speed bumps. Kenneth Walker III and Zach Charbonnet, they were just this two-headed monster that the 49ers had absolutely no answer for. Seattle's offensive line was getting a consistent push, winning at the point of attack, and just wearing down a Niner defense that prides itself on stopping the run. Seattle's dominance in the trenches was the foundation that their entire victory was built on.
And what happens when you have all that success running the ball? Well, the Seahawks played a game of keep away. They held onto the ball for over 38 minutes of a 60-minute game. That is more than 2/3 of the entire contest. It is impossible for an offense to get into any kind of rhythm when they're just standing on the sidelines getting cold, watching the other team just grind out first down after first down. This wasn't just ball control, it was soul-crushing, momentum-killing dominance. I mean, the numbers here, they don't lie. This was a beatdown in every single sense of the word. Just look at the rushing yards, 180 for Seattle and only 53 for San Francisco's elite rushing attack. Look at the first downs. The 49ers could only manage 9 for the entire game. And that time of possession gap is just staggering. The 49ers were outplayed, they were outcoached, and most importantly, they were outmuscled. It was a humbling experience, to say the very least. And you know it's the blueprint Seattle's going to try to follow again.
So, we get to the million-dollar question, right? How do the 49ers possibly avoid a repeat of that nightmare? What is the one thing they have to do to rewrite this script and save their season? Well, the answer is actually pretty simple in concept, but it's incredibly difficult in execution. It all starts and ends in one place, the trenches.
So, meet the X factor, Trent Williams, arguably the best left tackle in the entire game, and he was on the sidelines for that Week 18 beatdown. His absence wasn't just a small problem, it was a gaping wound that the Seahawks mercilessly exploited. See, Williams isn't just a good player, he's a one-man wrecking crew. In the run game, his unique mix of size and athleticism is the engine for Kyle Shanahan's entire outside zone scheme. And in the pass game, he is a fortress protecting his rookie quarterback's blind side. His return to the lineup is the single biggest reason for 49ers fans to be optimistic about this rematch.
But hey, don't just take my word for it. Listen to a man who knows a thing or two about winning in the trenches, Super Bowl champion Jeff Saturday. He cuts right to the chase. Stopping the run is the key. If they don't stop it, this thing won't be close. It doesn't get any clearer or more direct than that. This game isn't going to be about complex schemes or a bunch of trick plays. It's about pure physical will. This game will be won or lost at the line of scrimmage, period, on both sides of the ball. This slide here really just perfectly illustrates the two paths this game can take. On the left, you've got the Week 18 disaster. They got bullied up front, which allowed Seattle to control the entire tempo of the game. Their own run game was shut down, and Brock Purdy was basically running for his life. But on the right side, you have the roadmap to redemption. It starts with a change in mindset, a commitment to being the aggressor, dominate the trenches, and suddenly Seattle is in 3rd and long, and their offense becomes one-dimensional. Reestablish your own run game, and that opens up the entire playbook for Purdy. It's a flat-out refusal to be pushed around.
Now, winning the battle in the trenches is absolutely the first and most important step, but it's not the only one. Think of it like this. It's the key that unlocks the door to victory, but the 49ers still have to actually walk through it. Winning up front creates opportunities, but they still have to capitalize on them. So what are the other crucial elements that will decide the outcome of this game? Let's take a look. You can think of it as a 3-part formula for success. Once the 49ers establish that dominance at the line of scrimmage, they have to execute flawlessly in these 3 key areas. 1, protect the football. Don't give that hungry Seattle defense and that crazy crowd any free momentum. 2, you have to create turnovers and flip the field position battle. And 3, when you get a chance to score, you have to finish those drives with touchdowns, not field goals. Let's break down why each of these is so critical.
Okay, first things first, you cannot give the Seahawks freebies. Lumen Field is one of the loudest stadiums in the entire NFL, and that crowd noise can cause chaos, false starts, miscommunication. The Seahawks feed off that energy, and they're always looking to capitalize on mistakes. Brock Purdy learned that the hard way back in Week 18 when his 4th quarter interception basically sealed the 49ers' fate. In this game, he doesn't need to be a superhero. He needs to be a surgeon. Take what the defense gives you, live to fight another down, and avoid the catastrophic mistake at all costs.
Now on the flip side of that, the 49ers defense, they have to be a bunch of thieves. If the Seahawks are going to try to play that slow, methodical, keep-away game again, the 49ers have to create some chaos. A timely turnover can be a complete game changer. And this is where stopping the run pays off again. If you can force Seattle into obvious passing situations on 3rd down, you let your pass rushers get home, forcing fumbles or bad throws. A single takeaway could be the difference between winning and losing a tight playoff game like this.
Last but not least, the 49ers have to be clinical in the red zone. Kicking field goals in a playoff game on the road, it just feels like a loss, doesn't it? When you get inside that 20-yard line, the field shrinks, the windows get tighter, and you have to come away with touchdowns. It's that simple. The 49ers have the weapons in McCaffrey, Kittle, and Jennings to make it happen, but it all comes down to precise execution when the pressure is at its absolute highest. They cannot settle for 3.
So, here we are at a crossroads. Will the 49ers rise from the ashes of their Week 18 humiliation and write a new, triumphant chapter in their season? Or will history repeat itself, with the Seahawks once again playing the role of executioner? The answer lies in the trenches. It lies in the hearts of the players and in the mind of their coach. This isn't just a football game, folks. It's a test of character. And we're all about to find out if the 49ers have what it takes to pass it.
So what do you think? Is winning the line of scrimmage the be-all and end-all, or is there another factor you believe will decide this game? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And hey, if you enjoyed this breakdown, do us a huge favor and hit that like button and subscribe to NFL Nexus for more in-depth analysis all throughout the playoffs. Thanks for watching, and remember to check out those coloring books if you want to support the channel. We'll see you next time.